Recently, the Future Awards Africa announced its class of 2024. Now, the Future Awards Africa was established as far back as 2006, and it is for people between the ages 18 and 31. It recognizes their achievements, their leadership potential, and it has different segments like entrepreneurship, arts, public service, and over the years, it has become that foremost continental award for the youth, and it has helped in fostering collaboration among youth across Africa. And today on Rubbin'minds, we have two members of the class of 2024. We have an actor, Genoveva Ume.
Hi.
Welcome to Rubbin'minds.
Thank you very much for having me. It's good to be here.
Good to have you. And we also have the CEO of Bumper, and that's Kelvin Umechukwu. Welcome to Rubbin'minds.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here too.
So my first question has to be that moment when you received that nomination. Were you expecting it? What came to mind? What were the emotions? And I'll start with you, Genoveva.
I definitely wasn't expecting it. I mean, the Future Awards, I appreciate what they do, for young people, just kind of reflecting the hard work that young people do and encouraging others to also do the same. So just getting the nomination and being recognized for the work that I'm doing was definitely, a thing of joy, definitely encouraging. So yeah, I was quite pleased.
Quite pleased. What about you, Kelvin?
I think just like you said, it was a lot fulfilling because it feels like a full circle, where a lot of the work that you have done, it finally gets to be shown out there. It's more like recognizing that work, and so I think that was it was a good moment for me, because not just for me but also for my team. A lot of the work that we are doing in the background is just coming forth, and having people, especially like the Future project, the Future Award project, just recognizing us. I think that it was amazing.
Okay, I'd like you to just reflect very briefly on your journey that has led to this nomination, to this recognition, to almost this stamp of approval, like, yes, we see you, yes, we commend you, yes, we want to showcase you to the world. Let's have that journey.
I definitely feel like I've experienced a full circle moment. I was born in Enugu State, a small city called Enugu State, and I moved when I was 12. So to return back to Nigeria, especially Lagos State, after 12 years, and deciding to pursue acting, it was definitely stuff of courage and just sort of self-belief, and that was my journey, coming here and just not knowing anybody and just wanting to be a part of the industry and act and to tell African stories to the world. So that was kind of my journey, and to be here telling African stories, embodying roles that mean something to myself, to women, to so many people, is really such a blessing. And I'm so grateful for how far I've come, and I know that there's definitely more in store, really. So yeah.
We don't always hear the Jakpada story. Most times it's the Jakpa. Yes, it's the Jakpa story we hear, and to think of the people aspire to go and make it big in Hollywood or to make it big in the UK film scene, but you wanted to come back to Nollywood, and you left what a lot of people are aspiring to, and I think that's really inspiring. What about you, Kelvin? What were the things that led to this nomination?
I would say a lot of it is around the work in supporting innovators and entrepreneurs. I spent the past 12 to 15 years in the tech space, building products and building communities, for various organizations. And the work that I've recently started doing, I think in the past 3 to 4 years, is building a company called Bumper, where we basically empower business owners with the tools they need to manage and grow their businesses. In my own philosophy, I think a lot of the reasons why businesses are not growing as fast is because they are not taking advantage of these amazing innovation and tools that are out there. It's just a little bit out of reach for them. And so we are just trying to make it simple, make it easy for more business owners, even people that, that probably have not even gone to the university, but they're able to use technology to even just, get a website, manage their inventory, record their sales, sell globally, right? And so I'd say that that's like a big part of the reason why I'm here, and I'm super grateful that the work that we have done have impacted over 50,000 businesses, and I'm just excited about where we're going to after this.
Very inspiring. It's interesting that it's your work serving others, empowering others that has led to this nomination. And who would have thought 12 to 15 years? A lot of times people just expect everything right now, and sometimes that journey does take time. So Genevieve, how do you think being a TFAA nominee will add to your work, add some value?
I definitely think that being a nominee just proves that you can do anything. If you have a goal and you're driven, you have a desire, and especially for young girls, if you have a particular skill that you want to pursue, it's worth doing it. And I think that I'm just grateful for the platform to get to to share that with people and to shine a spotlight on that. Yeah, and that's it.
And you, Kelvin?
I think for one is the recognition, just putting the word out there. For many of us, like especially in the tech space, the work that we do are mostly known in the tech space, but then, a platform like this takes us even beyond that, beyond the tech space. So even people that I'll probably not have reached directly, and so that reach is something that I think that will be beneficial to the platform that we're building, but also partnerships. When other organizations see you on a platform, they it gives you more credibility. It adds more value to even the work that you're doing, and so I think that's some of the things that we expect to get out of this.
Okay. Now, we've been saying the good things, the one that people like to hear, but let's reflect on the challenges, some of the things you've had to overcome. You kind of touched on it about returning to Nigeria, not knowing anybody, sort of finding your way through Nollywood. What were some of the challenges you had to overcome to be here today?
I mean, definitely, acting is not an academic subject. It's often seen as a hobby. So growing up and finding that I had this really big interest in acting, it was hard to navigate that for myself. I thought it was a hobby, and I thought it was something that I'd just have to get over. So when it was time to select a university course, I went into law. But I'm grateful for the parents that I had. They've always been supportive of my extracurricular activities. So I would show up doing that, but I had to prove that I was capable. I had to prove that by, getting training, doing the extra stuff outside of school during the summer holidays. And then, of course, moving to Nigeria to pursue it and to get opportunities on screen. So I think those were the challenges, and of course just being courageous, having the drive and self-belief to speak to people that perhaps might make you feel inferior. So yeah, those were definitely the challenges, and just a few knockbacks of being a young woman living in Lagos. That's a whole different ballgame. You know what I mean? So I think so far, having been through all of that journey, that has made me far more stronger, far more, capable, resilient, and I'm able to just know that I can do anything, really.
What about you, Kelvin? And my own question looks at, when did you make that decision, and what motivated you from just building products, doing your own thing like a tech bro, to saying, look, I want to help other people? I mean, at that point, was there a demand for it? How assured were you that it was going to be successful? And were there points where you thought, you know what, I'm tired of dealing with entrepreneurs in Nigeria, let me just go back to being tech bro and making my cool money?
I would say it was it's sort of like the company that we have today was not necessarily, we did not plan it to be a company. You know, I was working with my friend and, you know, current co-founder. We've known each other for over 10 years now, right? We went to school together. And so we were building something that basically helped developers host their websites online, right? My direct people I was dealing with directly were just developers, so just tech. I was only speaking tech, you know, going to developer conferences and the like. But then we started seeing entrepreneurs themselves reaching out to us directly, saying, "Oh, I want to host my website." I think it was just a mistake in our marketing, right? Because they were not my target audience, and so we are like, oh, since we can build it, we are both engineers. Since we can build it, like we should just go ahead to build the websites for them and then end up and then also host it for them. And we built out a small project, you know. But I think it was a small project where we left. But then during the pandemic, you know, that's where this came up back. Like, hey, a lot of businesses were just,
brick and mortar, and they wanted to pivot online.
And they could not sell online. There was nothing available, and so we just that project. Hey, let's spin it back up. I was working 9 to 5 at this time, right? Just doing my thing, but it was just like, okay, let's spin it out on the side and just see, you know. But it just took off, right? You know. In a few months, I had just, you know, tendered my resignation, and then, incredible. You know, I went to just build out this thing. So there was no like, you know, short path. Like this
feasibility studies, business plan, like,
you know. Yeah. No, it was just like, hey. We wanted to create value at the time. We did that. During the lockdown, wanted to just, that project, how can it help businesses at that time? And we did that again. And then, you know, we had someone, Okweawo, the founder of Rubbin'minds, he went to my school, OAU, and said he gave us $20,000. Whew, we were off the, you know.
Wow.
That time it was like 8 million naira. You know, and we were just so happy. And then that's when we actually said, you know, let's turn this into a company. And so I would say, the path have not necessarily been straightforward. I know that some people will be like, you know what, this is what I want to do. It has not necessarily been clear, you know, how I got here, right, from 9 to 5. But I know one thing for sure is that anybody that have just, you know, just keep on putting one step, you know,
in front of the other.
Just keep on going.
I think what comes through with both your stories is stories of courage and wanting to achieve an objective. In your case, is to help others. In your case, is to tell African stories, authentic stories, play characters that mean something to you. And just like he gave the example of one of his helpers, supporters, you mentioned your parents. Who are some of the people that have been a part of your journey, that have supported you in navigating Nollywood, in settling in Lagos, in just making sense of your journey as an actor?
I mean, I'm deeply grateful for everyone that has maybe trained me in acting, you know, right from being a teenager to possibly just giving me the opportunity to be in the room and then trusting me with roles. But in this moment, I am extremely grateful for my parents and my management company at Agency 106, you know, which is head by Isioma Osaje, which, you know, she's absolutely amazing in terms of like, just a woman after, you know, another woman's heart, you know, someone that looks out for my best interests and also encourages all my goals and my aspirations and always makes sure that I know my power and I own it. So yeah, those are the people, you know, and especially people that inspire me far and wide, that I watch, you know, that I, you know, I'm constantly inspired. I always say that I live inspired because it's just awesome. it's just really, really important to feed that uniqueness, and that also helps you kind of find your footing as well.
And Kelvin, how have you been able to balance it all? Your personal growth, being a leader, helping entrepreneurs, and just living as a young person in Nigeria when there's the promise of Japa, where tech is booming abroad, and whether you choose to work in Nigeria for a tech company abroad or you choose to move abroad, like, you'll be sorted. So how are you able to balance all of that?
I think it's the people that I think I was very fortunate with the people that I met early in my career. Like, so I met people like Charles Emembolu. I worked with him for a few years. You know, these are people in Yaboyeji, Okweawo. These people, they do multiple things at the same time, right? And I tend to figure like they have their families, have multiple businesses, and they're still learning. You see them actually going to school. My boss at the time, even Bosun Tijani, who is currently the minister, I used to work at CC Hub. You know, I remember just, if you check his calendar, he was doing his PhD while he was, and I think these people just inspired me to feel like, you know, there's so much I can do. And it's something that I bring even to my organization, where there's a learning budget. I have people now in my company where we're paying for them to take their MBA, right, while they're still working with us, right? I'm also taking a course at Stanford. Like, it's just continuously trying to balance, you know, learning your personal life, but also doing the work that you're meant to do. So I would say it's just the people that I've seen, you know, there's how you would see certain things and you just know it's possible.
Absolutely.
You will not even know that there's, you know, people might be struggling with something like this, just because people have done it and they did it well. So I would say it's those people, like, to be honest. Like,
I think that comes through in both your answers, the role of people in your journey, supporting you, guiding you, providing for you, and just even receiving the work, because you can put out great work, but if nobody receives it, then you might as well just be working for yourself. So all that is left to say is congratulations on your nominations and all the best.
Thank you very much, Isabella. Thank you for the chat.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure. Thank you again, Genoveva Ume, an actor, an award-winning actor at that, and of course the CEO of Bumper, Kelvin Umechukwu.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And it's a wrap here on Rubbin'minds. My name is Isabella Adediji. Do join us same time, same place next week. Have a good afternoon.